Alright, what it do, gang? Your boy is back on the grind another time, and if you're just tuning in for the first time, and all my peeps that have been following, man, it has been a little while. I'm down to like a video a week. I'll be lucky if I get two, but again, it's just I'm busy with my regular daily life, so I get to these when I can, so I'm trying to update you guys as quick as I can as well. Today is the day where I can get some time to actually work on this, and I'll be able to actually work on it a lot more on Friday, hopefully. So Wednesdays and Fridays are about the days that I can get to it. So today I thought that I would at least start with finishing up the fuel system. And I think I'm pretty much there. My feed line it should be good, and I just have to route my line to the fuel rail and then do one of my lines that's gonna go from the fuel pressure regulator to my return line. So everything's being fed through a new fuel pressure regulator, because in my previous setup I had the truck intake and fuel rail, and on that it has the built-in regulator, so I didn't need one, but now with this setup I do. So hopefully that won't take me too long. I was waiting for my fittings, those came in, and then just a few other odds and ends, and so hopefully that shouldn't take too long, and then we'll be good to go. Next I'll probably attack some of the plumbing for the heat exchanger that goes to the lid. That is pretty much done as well. All I have to do is figure out how I want to route the hoses that go to the lid, because I actually want to run the supercharger engine cover. But that's pretty much what I have in store today for this. So, and if I can get further, great. If not, I'll just do what I can. So let me flip this camera around and show you what we got going on. All right, you guys, so here's what we got here. So I was waiting on these. These are like 45-degree bends. They're Evil Energy brand, just from Amazon. I've used these in the past. They work fine. Some of their fittings that you have to, I think they're hose and swivel fittings that you actually attach inside of the hose, like inside of here. And they have the hose end fitting that swivels. Those can kind of be a pain in the butt with this particular brand. For the hose end fittings, I like this brand, Russell. This is actually just a quick disconnect or quick connect for the fuel rail, but Russell is a great brand. I'm not sure if Edelbrock bought them out or not, or if they're an extension from Edelbrock, I'm not sure, but I've had really good luck with this brand. Russell, and obviously Earl's, but you just pay the money for Earl's fittings. So Russell's pretty good, and you don't have to pay an arm and a leg, and this Amazon brand is actually pretty good as well. So what I got here is actually over here, I think. Oh, what I have here is a 45-degree end, and this is what I was talking about right here, is the hose end swivel style here. So basically this comes off, this spins off, and you stick the little male end inside of the hose, and then you screw it down, and that's how it gets basically sealed for a tight fit, so no gas can leak out. But I needed this end because I needed this angle to run my lines off the fuel pressure regulator, so I was waiting on 3 of these. I think I might only need 2, but maybe I do need 3. I can't really remember. It's been so long since I ordered them. But so I got those in, so those should get me to where I need to be. I'm actually running -6 line, and that is plenty for me and my particular setup and my goals. I'm hoping I can get at least the same power out of this car. It was pushing probably close to 600 at the crank horsepower, and probably to the wheels, you know, give or take 15 to 25% depending on which dyno you're using. I don't know, maybe 515, definitely over 500 to the tires. So that's plenty of power for a street car, especially this car being it's a cruiser, and I got these old grandma white walls on. I mean, that's plenty. So maybe sometime in the future I would like to maybe upgrade the wheels. I still would like to do the white walls, but I know they make a more street kind of durable race-ish style white wall. I'm gonna look into those as well, but we'll see. I really like the stock rims, so I'm probably just gonna keep those just to keep the identity of this car, which is kind of basic on the outside, a monster on the inside. So that's kind of what I got planned for this. And -6 line, and shoot, 60-pound injectors, and we should be good. That should definitely get me over that 500 horsepower mark. My previous injectors were decapped truck injectors. So if you ever decapped or ever heard of decapped injectors, they're basically decapped. So you take off the cap, you grind the cap off around the top of the injector, the tip of the injector, and it pretty much just pops off, and then it actually flows a lot more. And then so I sent them out to get them flowed and tested, and they actually rated about 75, I think, somewhere around there, 75 pounds. So that was a cheap way for me to kind of upgrade my injectors and the flow of them without paying $300, $400 for a pair of Deca Siemens 80-pound injectors or something similar. So nothing wrong with that brand. I was just trying to go budget on some of the things at the time, and I made it happen. So the only negative with that is I think they don't spray as fine or as I would say efficient, so to speak, than your normal style injector, because they are decapped. But you know, my tuner has said, you know, with the type of driving I'm doing, it's not a huge deal. So I'm actually hoping these 60s actually make it perform and drive a little bit better. I sometimes would see some kind of weirdness of the way that it ran, either in when it started. Sometimes it would kind of just slightly hesitate on some things. We kind of mess with it in the tune. I've always kind of thought it was something with the fueling. So hopefully with this particular setup, it actually works a little bit better. So enough with the talking, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these lines and stuff routed. This was my original return line that actually went from the truck rail to my fuel rail down at the bottom. So I'm actually tapping into my original return line. Well, let me take that back. So I'm using the line that used to go to the charcoal canister. So that was just a vapor line pretty much. And when I put the LS swap in, I needed a return line. So I was wondering if I could just tap into the line, because it went all the way back to the tank, and no use of taking it out or leaving it unused. So what I did is I tapped like I forgot what they call them. They're like some type of union fitting that I got from Earl's, I think, and it has like a compression style fitting that you put on there, and then you put on the hard line. I think it's a 5/16 return line, and you tighten down on the hard line, and it gives it a good solid seal. And then this is the other end for it. You tap into it, and then you're good to go. So that has worked perfect, flawless for me for about a good solid 3 years or more. So no use of changing it. I think I have to make this line a little longer so it'll reach my fuel pressure regulator, and then I'm gonna have to make an additional line just like this that's gonna run from the regulator to the fuel rail. And then my feed will be, where is it at? I'll have my feed going right here, my return going out to my return line, and then this will be to the bottom down here will be to my fuel rail. So I'm hoping that's good. I'm hoping that'll all work. And shoot, man, I'm gonna go ahead and attack that right now. Alright, you guys, so I made my lines, and it was good because I actually was able to use my original return line. Now I can make it my feed line, so that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now is install this quick connect here on this end. So I've never used this kind before. Usually a quick connect just has like a little snap plastic deal inside of it, so you can just put it on and it snaps in. Those are kind of notorious for popping off. Actually, on my old rail, I put them on, and I learned this trick from a guy on YouTube that you could cut a piece of hose and cut it and put it around it here, and then put some hose clamps down, and then that keeps the quick connect from backing off. kind of similar to this same setup here. So this is actually kind of like a nut that screws inside of here, and then that way it won't have an opportunity to back out, and you sandwich it basically between that lip there. So I'm going to see how this one holds up. It was just a few more bucks, and I've heard of these before, but I've never used one, so we'll kind of see how it worked, or how it's gonna work. So go ahead and put this one on. And I did lube the O-rings. They were already lubed, but I put some WD-40 on there. Now, I have always heard that WD-40 isn't recommended to do that, but I just went ahead and did it. I don't think it's a real big deal, but it is what it is. So yeah, so this has two flat ends where you can stick a wrench on, and then you just basically just cinch them down. So actually, I like that way better. Now, this is my feed line. Oh, I should probably cut this off here. Hold on. All right, you guys, so I tried to cut that tape off so you couldn't really see it there. So I always put tape around the ends. That way I can, this little nylon or whatever type of material it is, it likes to fray when you cut it off, to cut down the hose to length. So it's recommended usually to put some tape around it to kind of stop it. Now this is like I said, my original return line, so you can see how it's already been rubbing against some things. So you know, I would make a new line, but I just didn't want to. I mean, this is a perfectly good line still. It just has a little bit of just cosmetic damage, but I mean, it'll do the job, you know. So if I really want to, I'll just cover it up with something, but you know, it is what it is. So this is gonna go from here to here, like so. And what I'll do is I'm just gonna run the lines for right now, and then I'll come back later and tighten them all down. So, hey, this thing gonna go on. All right, there we go. Scared me for a second. I was like, yo, this thing ain't fitting. Alright, so I'm already seeing that I probably have to, let me see. Oh man, no, probably needed like a 90, of course, dang it. I don't know if this sand's gonna work, guys, shoot. I think I ran out of room, unless I can get it to squeeze in. Let's see. So I got a 45 degree here. I don't know if you guys can see. So I got a 45 degree bend here, and I thought that would be plenty to clear here, but it's looking to be kind of tight. Probably could scoot this over. I thought I would clear. I thought I'd have enough room. Either I can screw the fuel pressure regulator over, or I can maybe take this off and put it on and kind of see if I can get it on that way. But I would hate to do that. I might just have to loosen the fuel pressure regulator and scoot this whole thing over as is. But let me see if I can get that on off camera. All right, you guys, so I think I got the fuel system all nailed down, and man, it feels good to get that done. So what I did is, again, I used my normal return line, which is way down there. I don't even know if you guys can see it. I don't even know if you guys can see it. It's behind there. It's right there. So the bottom of that fitting is the hard line, and then the top of it, which is kind of under my booster, is the new line that I made. It goes up and it kind of is hidden behind there, and then it goes all the way up to the fuel pressure regulator. All right, so right there to the side of it. Actually, excuse me, to the bottom part of the regulator. and I have that little 45-degree bend there. I was able to move the fuel pressure regulator over, and that was actually fairly easy. I only had to drill one hole, and then I just tapped into the other existing hole that was there from where the fuel pressure regulator was before on that side there, and moved it over, and it fit great. Plenty of clearance, as you guys can see from the wiper motor. Hugs under there from behind the corner of the blower, and comes and wraps around here. Now, I don't know if I really like this, and I don't know why they send some different rails, because I know a buddy of mine here on YouTube, Trent Dog, got one where his rail was on the, his feed was on the other side. And I'm probably sure it was a straight feed versus what I have here. So I have no idea why they do that. I don't know if I really like that or not, but it is what it is. That's what they sent me. And I love this quick, connect fitting here on the fuel rail. I think it turned out really slick. It doesn't move, it has no play like the other ones do. So I would highly recommend that. I'll probably show you the part number, apply the part number to it here as well, so you guys can kind of see that. So yeah, so the feed from there, from the side, goes right into the rail. And then again, the return from the bottom, and then my main feed from the tank is over on the other side, right there where the tape's on it. I don't know if you can tell, but it says EE because I had feed on there, goes right into the side. So from my understanding on these fuel pressure regulators, the two inlet ports on the side and the return line comes from the bottom, or the return portion of it goes out bottom back to the tank. So that is that there, and I think it is good. I just have to tighten everything down so I can't forget to do that. So I'm gonna get off camera and do that. And shoot, what else did I have? Oh, the throttle body. So I have to start attacking the throttle body as well, and also my power steering reservoir that I remote located it back over there. So what I'll probably do is go ahead and, you know what, I'm gonna do the reservoir. All right, you guys, so I went ahead and did this next phase off camera because I'm getting kind of crunched for time. In about an hour and a half, I gotta go to work. So I just wanted to kind of just get this done, and I'm pleased with it. It's not totally what I wanted, I guess, or how I would have done it, but it works for now. And what I decided to attack is the remote power steering reservoir. So how the Corvette style power steering pump is the little pressure line where the fluid goes in is right here, kind of in a weird spot. I guess it would work, you know, obviously for a Corvette of this particular year, but you know, when you're trying to adapt it to a car that it didn't originally go in, then you have to make adjustments. So I have this hose actually routed right here. Now originally the reservoir would be sitting right here, so there's a pre-bent hose, molded hose that actually just goes from the reservoir straight down there, and it's probably only like, I don't know, 6 inches long. Well, since I can't mount the reservoir here because of the blower snout or the throttle body, then I have to remote locate it. So what I decided to do, because I didn't want to drill into here, I just didn't want to put it over here. I was really trying to clean up the area the best as I can, and once these wires are all kind of ran nicely and everything, you'll kind of see my vision of how I really wanted to clean this up. So I thought that area would be good. That's actually where my filter used to sit. My air cleaner for the ProCharge used to sit in that corner there, so I thought I could make that area useful. So what I had to do is run a hose from here. Well, I had to make a bracket first, make it fit, and I think that's a great location for it. And then run a hose down here to here. The challenge was to get that reservoir high enough so the fluid flow, the power steering fluid flow, wouldn't be too much of an issue to get down into the pump. So I didn't really want it lower because you could actually starve the pump that way. And I at least wanted it a little bit higher and the hose somewhat level. That way it could kind of go down in there. And with the way I have it routed, it makes it a little bit of a challenge to do. And I didn't really want to loop it underneath It just would have been too much work, and it's so tight back there, you guys. It's so tight, so I just didn't want to do that. But you know, once this is kind of tucked down like this, and then these hoses are ran, so this will actually kind of cover that, so it won't be a huge deal. And once I have everything in line, it'll just be, it might be kind of in the way a little bit if I ever needed to get to the spark plugs or anything like that. So that's my only I guess gripe with it right now. But you know, all in all, it went really well. I made this bracket piece here out of just aluminum sheet metal, and so I'm gonna try to figure out a way where I can secure this so it doesn't move, because right now it's just kind of just there. It could definitely bump off and off of the bracket there if I don't put it down kind of tight. So either I'm gonna drill a screw in there to kind of keep it there, or a couple screws, or just figure out some other way to keep it there. And I got to get creative on how to keep this inside of the bracket, because how I have it now is as it just slides in. If you guys can see that, let me see if I can zoom in. It just slides down in there. So I cut it to fit, I molded it and bent it to fit here, so it'll fit the bend and the contour of this piece here on the car. And then I just made some cuts here, that way I could just slide it right down in there. It's pretty secure, but with any bumps in the car and while you're driving, it's probably gonna eventually wiggle out. So I want to try to get that a little bit more secure. I'll probably have to figure out a way to do that. So what made it a little bit more of an issue here is this piece here that goes out to this hose, to the pump, is actually 3/4, and then the nipple down here is 5/8, of course. So what I had to do is get a step down or some type of union. It's just a plastic union that I got that goes from 3/4 to 5/8, and I tried to hide it behind these wires so you can't really see it, so you wouldn't probably really be able to tell or know otherwise. But you know, all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. The only other thing that I have to do is, and that's not a big deal, is run the return line. So this is my return line right here. Obviously it's not long enough, so I got some extra line, and I'm going to run that all the way up. I'm gonna probably try to follow the wheel well here, follow the lines right here, and then eventually meet it at that line right here and go straight over to the return line. That is my thought. I think that turned out pretty good. I don't think that I'll have any issues with it. As you can see, the hose is kind of level. There's a little bit of a dip right there, but I think the pressure and everything from it will help it to flow quite nicely. So, oh man, we are getting there. That's just another thing that I attacked and was able to get done. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tighten the fittings. I didn't tighten the fuel fittings or anything yet, so I'm gonna have to make myself a reminder to do that. And then I think what I'm going to attack next is the not today, but probably Friday, is the throttle body. I have to make a little bit of a modification to my throttle body linkage, and work on getting the throttle cable worked out, and then work on getting these. Now what I'm trying to do is with these hoses here, is they're already set up to run at a 90 like that, but I'm actually trying to be able to use the engine cover. I really like that cover, and I think it would be really slick, and it would make this engine bay pop when it's put all together if that cover is on there. So what I'm trying to do is make it fit with these hoses, and right now it's not able to, because I have the hoses coming out this way versus down here is where they would usually come out, and it has provisions for that. Well, this one does it, and I don't want to cut up the cover up too much. So what I found out is I can actually make it fit if I can run the hose kind of like this, coming out this way at an angle like a 45, and then I can kind of tuck it down here like this, and then tuck it down, and then the cover just sits right on top of it, and it should clear. Or I might have to just make a little bit of a notch in the cover to make those fit. So now with this hose here, I don't think it's gonna be an issue really, but it could give me just like another inch of against me, because originally I had them tucked down tight like this, and so that hose wasn't accounted for at the time. But I think I'll be able to make it work. Once I get that all sorted out, the throttle cable sorted out and everything, then really we're in the home stretch. Just fix up some of this wiring. All the wiring should be in. The only thing I have to make modifications for potentially is I might have to extend the TPS and the IAC wire as well, and maybe one other one. But shoot, y'all, we are there. Then just clean up everything, put my loom on, and shoot, man, we should be set. Oh, and I will have to run the wiring for the heat exchanger pump also, but that shouldn't be a big deal. I think that stuff has all come pre-wired with relays and everything. It should be, let's see. Oh, there's an air temp sensor extension. I didn't even know that, or I could have used that. This is it right here. This is all pre-wired, so that shouldn't be an issue. I should just be able to plug it into the pump and then just apply power and ground and all that good stuff to it, and we should be good to go on that. So that will save me a lot of time, and then I'll be able to get this thing, oh man, get this thing almost ready for startup. Oh, and also just re-plug all the vacuum lines in to the booster and everything. And man, we are almost there, you guys. We are almost there. I'm glad that I can get you guys this content. Sorry if the video was a little bit longer, but I definitely wanted to catch you guys up on this. And ooh, we are almost there, you guys. So definitely, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and think about subscribing, you guys. The channel is growing, even though my content is a little bit slow. I think I'm providing the content channel to continue to grow, and man, I'm so excited about this, you guys. I am so excited. And you know, once I get this done, it's gonna be one project to the other. You know, the Skylark's coming because I got some things in store for that, and try to get that ready for summer so we can cruise that. The Chevelle, I have no idea when I would be able to get that back. I'm really not in a rush to get that back because I have some other projects as well. So I'm just grateful that, you know, he's able to keep the car safe and just take his time on it, and get that done. So whenever we get that is whenever we get that. I know I've been asked many times by people who inbox me, message me on the Chevelle. You know, it is what it is at this time, you guys, and when I get it, then you know that content will be legit. You know that content will be coming, and man, that Chevelle is gonna be sweet. So just stay tuned for that, you guys. But otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I got a workout to write and lead some people on a workout online that I do on the evenings here. So stay tuned, you guys. Again, definitely think about subscribing. Definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this build so far. Man, it's gonna be awesome when I get this thing running. So shoot, we out of here, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of that good stuff, y'all. Stick with me. Let's get it. Peace out.